Happy birthday. Yeah, we're live.
Oh, we're live.
You are about as live as can be.
That was
Are you embarrassed?
Yes.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it
does
doesn't. That's the beautiful Jerry Goldman and
Jerry
Carl.
Cerati Goldman to you.
Jerry what?
Cerati Goldman.
Cerati. Italian? You're Italian?
Of course.
Gorgeous. You are gorgeous.
Thank you.
Little
Cerati
Italian.
Goldman.
Cerati.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
God,
Thank
I
you.
know how to get you to shut up. Happy birthday.
I'm blushing. All right, everybody. Welcome to one of the most fabulous radio stations in all of Southern California, KHTS. I'm the coach, Coach Ron Tunick. Welcome to maybe a little too big a show today. It's a big show. The first segment is a brilliant, smart lady. Look, over the last 15 years, I've had a number of so-called experts helping small businesses learn how to use social media. I think today I found a gem. So Kristen will be with us in a minute. The second segment, the whole show is brought to you by a great little company here in the Santa Clarita Valley, NutriShop. This is where the coach, first of all, the owner, Jeff Sykes, is my coach. And he's been helping me understand diet. He's helping me understand how to lose weight. I mean, this dude is one of the smartest guys. Look, you've known the coach for years. I don't have experts in my life that aren't true experts. I don't have people in my life that aren't truly passionate about what they do. And Jeff Sykes at NutriShop over there on Newhall Ranch Road, one of the best. And him and I are working on a program. In fact, I'm going to talk a little bit about the second segment. Half of our society is overweight, probably more than half. Statistically, something like 65% of our society, our culture is overweight. And, we know all the reasons. Fast food restaurants, our taste buds like all the fatty foods and desserts and so forth and so on. But there's bigger issues out there, and the bigger issues are your health. The bigger issue out there right now is diabetes, and it's a horrible disease. So I'm going to talk about Jeff a little bit and a little bit about what we're going to do in the second segment of the show. So NutriShop, thank you for sponsoring our show. They're all over on Newhall Ranch Road. They're right next door to Eggs and Things on Newhall Ranch Road. So we'll talk about Jeff a little bit later. All right, as I said, when I open up my show, over the last 15 years, I've had a number of smart people on my show talking about how to help small businesses grow their business. And I think I have a very smart lady today, Kristen Marquette. Is that how you pronounce your last name, my dear?
It's Marquet, the T is
I
silent.
knew it was Marquet, and my producer sitting here said there's a T on the end of it. Justin, you are fired. It's Marquet, Kristen Marquet. And what is the name of your company? Just in case my thousands and thousands of listeners here on KHTS in Southern California want to contact you, what is the name of your company?
It's Creative Development Agency.
Creative Development Agency. And you know what? Your ebook is so cleverly done, off the air, or maybe tomorrow, I don't know, I'll call you, but very cleverly done. You know what's clever about it is I actually could read the whole thing in a half an hour. And
Yep.
I was able to absorb what I read. And so congratulations, because most people won't read because they think it's too difficult, and you really figured out. So congratulations right off the bat.
Thank you so much. I wrote the book in one weekend. I throughout the years, I've had so many clients try and pick my brain and, schedule multiple coaching sessions in PR and social media. And I just decided to take bits of knowledge and break them up into small, digestible chunks and create this book. And I have 2 more books coming out. So that's the whole point. I want to be able to teach people what I know and to make it easy for them. And, in this day and age, nobody has time, has 4 or 5 hours to read a book. So I'm glad that you were able to read it in 30 minutes.
And there was a lot of meat in there, and impressed with what you did. We're talking to the owner. Her name is Kristen Marquet. It's Marquet. And my producer said, no, it's Marquette. It's Marquet, creativedevelopmentagency.com, creativedevelopmentagency.com. So let's get started. I'm going to challenge you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the things that anybody that's thinking about starting a business or owns a business, if you're not dialed in to the things that we're going to talk about on our show we call The Business Life. I'm not saying you're not going to be very successful at what you do, but let me say this, that creating all the things that you need to do with social media will enhance your business. Don't you agree with that comment, Kristen?
Yes, I absolutely do agree. It's putting together a social media strategy can seem very overwhelming because, every day there are new platforms coming out. But, if you can figure out exactly where your customers are, then, just being on 3 or 4 platforms is a great way to get started. And the other thing is that getting started and putting together profiles and sharing posts and company news, doing product launches, it doesn't cost anything. So it really is a great way to build a brand organically. And, we can talk a little bit about the nuances of each different platform, but I don't care, if you're a law firm or a dentist office or a fashion brand or a restaurant, being on social media is kind of critical to your online digital footprint.
But everything is learned, and most people, especially small business owners, and you and I talked about it, they're so preoccupied with making a profit, turning the key in the door, getting their business off the ground. They'll tell you they don't have time. And I want to address that, not right now, but these are the excuses out of here. I don't have time, and then they'll say, well, I don't have the money. And you and I both know it doesn't take that much money to be innovative and creative on social media. So let's start with like Facebook.
Okay.
So I'm active on Facebook. I've got close to 5,000 followers. I need more followers. So if you're listening to the coach on the show we call The Business Life, please Facebook me today. Please, please, please. Coach Ron Tunick. And you Facebook me too, Kristen, please, and I'll respond back. So Facebook is a tremendous tool because it's a way for the community. I've met friends on there. Explain how we use business. So I'm not sure I know how to craft the right Facebook environment for my business, which is business coaching.
Right, and I think that, that's a very valid question, but, as a business coach, you should be uploading the different interviews that you conduct with different experts so that your followers have access to, this information. I mean, it's that simple. And the great thing about Facebook is it's not dying. A lot of younger brands will say, okay, well, you know what, Instagram and Snapchat are where we want to be. Facebook is dying. That's not the case at all. Facebook is huge. It's not going anywhere, and it really is a great way to reach a number of different target audiences.
And you just tell us how to do it. I mean, anybody that says Facebook's dying is just an idiot. And turn off my show. I don't even want you listening to my radio show. It's a wonderful. It's like going down to the community coffee shop or drugstore every day if you use it right. But how do you use it right in business? That's where I get confused. I get telling people that I've had a hot dog with mustard and onions and, I'm at In-N-Out Burger. But as a business owner, I struggle with it.
Right. Okay. Well, I think that the first thing that you need to do is you need to figure out what your objectives are, okay? What are you looking to accomplish? It's great to amass, thousands and thousands of followers, but if you're not doing anything with those followers, then it's completely pointless. So you need to figure out, okay, do you want to build your email list? Do you want to get more customers through the front door? Do you want to get sign-ups for your newsletter? Once you have an idea of what your objective is, then you can put together posts with call to actions and great images and video that are going to help you accomplish that objective. So that's the first thing. So
Now, do people really, we're talking to Kristen Marquet, ladies and gentlemen, one of maybe the smartest ladies. Look, I don't put anybody on this show that isn't smart, but I like to put people on that are also creative, which is a cheap plug for her business, Creative Development Agency. If you're looking for PR or you listen to her voice, she's smart. If you don't know anything about social media, call me and I'll put you in touch with her. But let me ask you a question. I get the video thing, but does people read newsletters anymore?
Yes, they do.
Be honest, because you're not going to be in the executive line in heaven if you're not honest.
No, you absolutely.
Who reads newsletters, girl?
Who? Email, marketing is one of the most cost-efficient ways to generate sales if your newsletters are done correctly. And I'm not saying that you should be publishing your newsletters on your Facebook page, but you should have a lead capture page with a call to action, okay, to get the person's email address and to get them onto your
there you go. Okay.
You're not going to be publishing, 400 words of content on your Facebook page because nobody's going to read it. But, you'll have a clever headline, a clever sub-headline, a video or an image, and that should do the job if you're targeting the right demographic and the visual is attractive and you have a headline that is going to resonate with your target audience.
All right, now we're getting into it. So you're listening to the Coach on the Business Life here on KHTS in Southern California, about 72 degrees. Her name is Kristen Marquet, and let's get into the weeds just a little bit. So I think when I'm doing my business coaching and businesses don't have lists, I tell them they're just dumb bunnies. And you've got to have a list. So I love where you're going with this. I don't care what the size of your business is. Maybe the most important thing, besides inheriting millions and millions of money, is having a list. So that's why you need to create that newsletter or video newsletter or something that is really worthwhile, because you've got to capture their email.
Absolutely. And, on any type of website, you should have your opt-in box above the fold, meaning that it should be within eyes length of somebody landing on your website. So, and Facebook is a great way to capture those leads. But, Facebook goes beyond that. If you are a product-based business that has great visual content. So even if you're in the hospitality industry, you're a hotel, you're a restaurant, you're an airline, it's a great way to publish promotions.
All right.
Company news.
Talk to me about my sponsor, NutriShop. So NutriShop, you go in there, and I buy my protein bars because I can buy them for like 75 cents less than anywhere else I go. But the owner, Jeff Sykes, is truly an expert, but he's a kind of a shy, he's like a professor. He's like a young professor, but he's shy. And I keep telling him, Jeff, you've got to build a list of your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has a brick and mortar store.
Brick and mortar store on New Hall Ranch Road.
Everybody who walks through that front door, he should be getting their email addresses. The wine shop down the street from my house,
how do you do it? How do you ask a customer?
It's very easy. You put up a sign-up sheet next to the register. 50% of the people that walk through the door are going to write down their email address. It could be for to get certain promotions, or in this case, a wine tasting or a networking event, anything. But it's very simple, and he should absolutely have an email sign-up sheet right next to each register in his store.
Well, I hope he's listening. That is a great idea. That's why I have you on the show today. You're going to come back. You're going to be one of my cast members now, because that is a great idea. And you're right. If 50% sign up over a course of 6 months, he might have 2,000 or 3,000 people that have visited his store, that obviously have repeat visits and are interested in his product, and that's how you grow your business.
Absolutely. Like I said, it doesn't matter if, even if you have a gym, you should offer the same thing. It doesn't cost any money, and it's a great way to build your email list. That's for brick and mortar. For online, whether it's business coaching or, an app or a food delivery company, kind of like, delivery.com.
Yeah.
You should absolutely have your opt-in and your email signature opt-in box above the fold.
All right, I'm holding this second time I'm holding up your book. So our show will be on YouTube next week. We edit the show. So I just held up your book. And ladies and gentlemen, if you go to YouTube, Kristen Marquet is the author, and she owns a creative development agency. I can't tell you what state she's in.
New York.
Really? I knew what state. I was just trying to tease the audience a little bit. I can tell your little accent. You got a cute little, sometimes the dog walking in the park comes out. So, all right, Facebook is genuine tool, a great tool for business or personal use. And I think even for personal use, that if you build up, like there's a Robert Ferguson on there, who's a gentleman I know, has been on TV many times, and he tells a story. I won't tell you what he does for a living, but so learning how to tell a story on Facebook is probably where you start. Right? Right.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's move over to something I love Facebook, so I hope, what's his name, Zuckerberg sends me a check for this. My
next book is going to be on social media, and I have a very big chapter on Facebook, so I'll send you a copy so you can take a look at it.
Hey, you're part of my cast now. You're going to be on like every month. And our show's going to be syndicated here pretty soon, so we'll be all over the country. Let me ask you about Twitter, because I'm still, after all these, I'm on Twitter, and it's interesting. The more I tweet, the more feedback I get, but I don't understand. I go on Twitter, and nothing makes sense to me, because everybody's promoting. That's all they're doing. Where's the value for a business owner? Let's go back to NutriShop. Where's the value for this wonderful nutrition shop? You go in there, they have all these great protein products. I buy my bars there. I also buy my protein there. How would NutriShop, a retail store in Southern California, use Twitter?
Okay, great question. And again,
that's my second great question of the day.
The principles are pretty similar, except for you have to, you're limited to 140 characters at a time per tweet. But again, if you're running a promotion or if you have company news, it's a great way to release that news. But more importantly, I tell my clients when we're doing any type of social media campaign, when it comes to Twitter, use that as a tool to connect with the media. Every media person, every journalist, producer has a Twitter profile. If you want to connect with somebody directly, it's a great way to build a relationship with them, and it's completely acceptable. I always get a lot of pushback from small business owners. Oh, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to approach a journalist at this publication, and it's acceptable to do so. And I've done it myself in the 12 years I've been in this industry, and I've created great relationships with with an editor from Newsday, Time, and Vanity Fair.
All right. Can I hold you over, because we've got so much that we haven't even, can I hold you over for like 10 more minutes?
Yeah, sure.
You don't
absolutely.
mind? Kristen Marquet is her name, and you can just tell she's smart and she's cute. Her agency is Creative Development Agency in New York. We're going to go to break here in 1 minute. I want to continue on Twitter for at least the next minute, and when we come back from the break, I want to talk about one of the best social media tools that the coaches not use. We're going to learn about it. It's a social media tool that if you're in business and you're not using, you can use it to find out who's smart in terms of their expertise. But if you're looking to hire people, this next social media tool is one of the best tools you can use. We're going to come right back on the show we call The Business of Life, brought to you by Nutrisystem. Brought to you by a lot of sponsors, but Nutrisystem is where the coach gets his protein, where he gets his bars. And Jeff Sykes, the owner, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, he's the smartest guy in the room. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a program that him and I are putting together in the second segment. We'll be right back with Chris and Marquet. We got so much more to cover on social media. If you own a business and you're not using it, come on over to the station because I need to talk to you. I need to kind of almost give you a verbal spanking. You need to learn how to use PR and social media. Be right back on the Business of Life here on KHTS AM 1220 AM.